Now let's queer up health. AMA calls for providers to resist laws that restrict gender-affirming care. The American Medical Association strengthened its commitment to protecting gender-affirming care in a resolution passed at the organization's annual meeting this week. The resolution, introduced at the conference by the Endocrine Society, a global association of endocrine clinicians, compels the AMA to oppose all criminal and other legal penalties for patients and their families attempting to access gender-affirming care. It protects doctors from physical and legal threats that arise from providing care and advocates against state and federal legislation that would prohibit or limit gender-affirming care. According to the Endocrine Society report, the AMA House of Delegates, which votes on all resolutions and rule changes for the organization, voted to pass the resolution on Monday. As political attacks on gender-affirming care escalate, it is the responsibility of the medical community to speak out in support of evidence-based care. Medical decisions should be made by patients, their relatives, and healthcare providers, not politicians. Delia Sosa, a co-author of the resolution who is trans and an alternate delegate to the AMA's medical students section, said they believe conservatives want to, quote, erase our existence, end quote, by criminalizing gender-affirming care. Sosa said, quote, we stand behind trans people. We want to make sure that not only do they have access to health care, but that the people that are supporting them are also safe, end quote. It's sad to think of a world where, doctors are challenged for providing the care that people need. And we don't just see it with trans people, we see it with women and reproductive care and how Black women are not heard, how the statistics show they're not heard. We see it in many ways. So it's just sad to think that we live in this world. I'm glad that this resolution, again, hopefully it resonates around the country.
Yeah. You would think you're on the bad side when you're telling doctors, hey, don't do your job. You would think that, right?
Yeah.
But you brought up a point earlier, you can't be so delusioned to think you're doing the right thing. I'm starting to think they aren't delusioned. I'm just starting to think they're bad people.
Yeah.
It might be a terrible thing to say, but I think we just need to realize you just might be an asshole and you pride yourself on that.
Sociopaths, and they do like power, so I will say.
Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at healthcare, and this is a conversation I've been having as we've been hearing about these new legislations that are erecting all over the country, but we have a lot of organizations that help LGBTQ+, right? We need to have that organization who is behind funding our next generation of LGBTQ+ doctors, our LGBTQ+, we have a lot of attorneys. Guys, I didn't realize that, when they were passing out, passes to law school, I missed mine, and I mean, woo! But now that we have so many attorneys, it's time to invest in our medical field and in our medical teams, because the way that the world is going, we may end up being an insulated community.
I'm going to back you up on that, but not just, physical health, but mental health as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We need it on both sides.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it is. We need to be proactive about this. What are we going to do? We're going to wait until now this is, the law of the land, and now there's no care for our people and our community. Yeah. And then what are we waiting for? So maybe it's just time. It's now. We have to start a new organization, and this is focused on, investing in the futures of our next generation of doctors and medical professionals.
I vaguely remember hearing that there is a gay and lesbian scholarship fund. I don't remember the name, but I mean that's how obscure it is that, we've got these little organizations that want to do really stinking good work, and we need to find them, and we need to elevate them, and we need to shout them, and we need to retweet them, and
I'll say, I think within our community, we need to start putting our own money where our mouth is.
Yeah.
No corporation. We've seen these corporations are not here to save us. They're throwing us under the bus as quickly as they could. We got to start putting our money together and saying loud and clear that we're going to back our own community up. In the same spirit as the Black Panthers did and other folks throughout history that said, okay, well, the government and all of these institutions aren't going to defend us or protect our rights and make sure we have these services. We're going to provide food for our kids. We're going to provide the commerce that we need. We're going to provide the dollars. And so that's something we might need to start thinking about sooner or later.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.